Hello, fellow parents. This video is going to be violation of which board should you choose for your child if they're going to be enrolling in preschool. My honest and real experience trying to find a school for my daughter, what it's been like, what are my learnings essentially, and which curriculum or what kind of school should you choose. So let's start. Like every other parent, I think I left no stone unturned to figure out which school should my child get enrolled in. I visited possibly every kind of school and I spoke to 1,000 or gazillion parents to really figure out where should I put my child, like what will be the best ROI, both in terms of time and money spent. And ignore this chair. I mean, everybody has these kind of chairs, right? So let me start. So my daughter turned 2 and she was fairly independent, and she showed signs that she was ready for school. At that point in time, the schools that I were interested in, they were not accepting her because I wanted to try out Montessori curriculum, Montessori school for my child, and they were ready to take her in only once she turned 2.5. So then for 6 months it was very difficult for me to sort of entertain her at home, and I decided to enroll her in a school. So I went and I visited Clay, and I also visited Eurokids because I think these are the only two brands that sort of take children who are younger also. I think they start enrolling kids since 9 months or 1 year perhaps, and kudos to them. I mean, they really have a lot of trained staff and curriculum and everything. I think they do a fairly good job. Now, what I realized is the difference between Clay and Eurokids is that Clay is a big brand. They have tie-ups with a lot of corporates. So a lot of working parents, they actually send their children there for daycare also, and they have staff there who's cooking, I think, meals, and the child is fed there and kept there, and I think there would be a sizable number of children enrolled in their daycare also. So if you're looking for like a daycare and you're a working parent and you want someone whom you can trust, then Clay as a brand is really really good because they have CCTV cameras also. I think every school has that, but I what I'm trying to say is that they have a lot of experience when it comes to daycare given the number of children enrolled in their programs. Because I visited a lot of the other daycare centers, but I didn't find that many children enrolled. But for me, like, I was not looking for daycare and I was specifically looking for personalized attention for my child. So then I skipped that and I enrolled her in Eurokids, where they had only 5 or 6 kids her age group, and it was a new branch near where I live. So it seemed like a really good choice. And the experience with Eurokids has been like pretty good, I must say, because they have, like, I think, a very play based curriculum. They celebrate like every occasion. I think in the one semester, which I would say 3 months that she was there with them, they had a Valentine's Day celebration, they had an annual day, they had a sports day. In the annual day, they had like a fashion show wherein the kids and mothers had to dress up like animals and walk the ramp. And sports day also was there, which was like really cute. So like they do like a lot of these activities, right? And it keeps the bond between parents and children. Like, obviously I know you need to have time for all of this, but they do make an effort, right? The teachers are very sweet and they really take care of these children because they know that they're really small and they need that attention. So great job, Eurokids. So after now Eurokids, because I wanted my child to pursue Montessori, and I don't know why, I have enrolled her in another school. So, and I'll tell you what happened in that process, right? So a lot of you, just like me, must be thinking, should I go for a Montessori curriculum or not? Or should I just give her in a regular nursery or preschool and then enroll her for LKG, UKG in a regular school? And with NEP, I think there is PS 1 to 3 in some schools. So, what should you do? Um, See, my honest experience has been that my elder child was in a play based school, and my younger one is right now in Montessori. And in Chennai, I think there is also something called as play and Montessori both together. So basically, kindergarten, Montessori curriculum, and then there's something that follows a mix of both. And my son was in a mix of both. Um, so before even getting into these kind of technicalities, right? Like, let me just get to the point. Um, like, you know, bringing up children is extremely difficult, and if you are living alone, and which I mean in a nuclear setup, and you've been able to sort of give that attention, and you're not a working parent, and you've been able to discipline your child from day one, then a Montessori curriculum will be very easy for a child to settle in, because there are rules for everything. And if you've sort of pampered your child a little bit, and if you've not been a very strict disciplinarian, or if your child has not cooperated, then settling into a Montessori curriculum is a little difficult. And Montessori also makes sense for those parents who are very keen to spend 3 years in that curriculum, because that's when you actually see the impact of that. If you're deciding to spend 1 year in Montessori and then move her to an LKG, UKG in another school, then it doesn't really matter. But even that 1 year of preschool, if you want your child to enjoy, right, rather than, because you know that 3 year commitment means your child will turn out to be very different, very independent, and perhaps a lot more disciplined and learn a lot more. But when you know that it's 1 year, I think that kind of discipline is a little difficult to enforce in just 1 year. Also, Montessori schools expect that you have them potty trained and susu trained by the time they start school. They're very strict with that. They expect the child to follow rules, right? So it's very difficult. So it's a lot of hard work from the parent side as well. You really need to give in your all in trying to susu train, potty train them, making sure that they're following rules. When I say rules, like they have to clean up after they play with anything. They have a mat which they have to go and pick, and the material will be given. They have to be curious about things, and only then they will be given. If they are roaming around, they won't be forced to learn. And in terms of food, like there's a designated area where they can eat. And in a class has mixed age environment, so 2 to 6 kids together study, so that elder ones teach the younger ones and the younger ones learn from the elder ones, so they have that setup. So the thing here is that I am falling short of words, but what I'm trying to tell you here is that it's a lot of work from the parent side, and even the child has to cooperate in a Montessori curriculum. Like, you have to make sure your child is potty trained by the time the school starts. You have to make sure the child is following rules. Like, imagine a 2.5 year old has to wait for their turn to play anything, has to wait for their turn to eat anything. So my child is coming back from school without eating her tiffin, and she's there for 3 hours. That's because she's just started school, so she doesn't know where she needs to go stand, wait with the tiffin, wait for the child to get up who's eating, and then take that place. And she doesn't know that this is a designated area where only there she can eat. So yeah, I mean, enroll your kids in a Mont if you're ready for that kind of commitment and a long term association. If it's just for a year, you'd rather do a play based environment where they settle in very easily and they love going to school and they enjoy it, I guess. And it's also a little less difficult for the parents. And always go visit these schools, ask to sort of visit the teachers, understand their teaching philosophy, understand if the teachers are soft spoken, whether they'll really, have that patience to deal with different children. And yeah, I mean, let me know if you have any other questions, but that's my honest take. Thank you.